Okay. So, hello, everybody. I think the topic for today is going to be community involvement and what does that kind of look like for you? And I think community involvement, however you look at it, is really important that you interact with real live people.
I
Okay?
agree completely.
I agree.
It's nice enough. I think part of the problem with like the social media, like Facebook or any of them, is that they've basically divided up everybody and you're in an echo chamber.
Yep.
And that's not really good to be.
No.
All right. So getting out there. So I'm going to tell you what sort of community involvement looks like for me. Okay. So I joined a gun club so I could practice. Angie would be very proud of me.
Yeah.
Um, because you know what, guns are pretty scary. Okay. And the gun club goes over a lot of safety. And the thing is, I did not have to take the range safety class because when I was there practicing, I was like bullseyeing the whole thing, and they're like, "You're good." So I could see this a very expensive hobby. Holy cow!
Oh, yes. And here's the thing is you need to upkeep that skill monthly.
Yes,
It's not like I went last year. Monthly.
yeah. So that's the plan. But it's putting me in contact with people I would not normally be in contact with.
Mhm.
Okay. I'll just say it was way too easy for me to get a gun.
That's your state.
Well, it's the no felonies too, probably.
Well,
It's a little harder when you have felonies.
Yeah.
but Washington doesn't require you to have like continuing education on it.
Mhm.
Right? It doesn't require classes and stuff like that.
Mhm. Yeah, some states don't. Indiana didn't
Really?
when I first got a gun license.
Ohio doesn't either.
Yeah, they're like,
Okay,
whatever. okay.
Massachusetts was like up your butthole about before you can even get a license.
Mhm.
You have to take a class, and the class is really expensive. You have to go do that before you can even obtain a license, even apply for the license. Not that you have a license, you don't even have a license yet. And then once you take the class, then you got to jump through all the hoops. Down here in Florida, you also need to take a class before you can even apply.
Mhm.
And then you jump through the hoops, and then you can get the license. Then you can go get a gun.
And then you study up on reciprocity.
Right.
So yeah, they could have made it harder for me.
Fair.
Right? But anyway, the next thing that I do is there's a weekly gardening classes at a local nursery, which honestly is brilliant. Okay, because you go to a class and never leave there without buying something.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but that's putting me in contact with people like me. All right, we like gardening. All right, that's the thing we have in common. So the guy that holds the classes is extraordinarily knowledgeable and answers all my questions. And there's people there that could also, we talk to each other. Okay? And then, when I lived in Connecticut, I had always meant to join these RTs, Artist State Animal Rescue. And in Connecticut, it was a state thing, and then the county had its chapters.
Mhm.
Okay. But you know what? I was getting ready to move. I had to pack up a house. I had to sell a house. I had things to do. And you know what? I'm like, you know what? I'll just join it here in Washington because, yeah, all the states have that, right?
Mhm.
No, they do not. And even if Washington has some, it's not county to county to county. So Clallam County did not have an animal response team for emergencies, but that's about to change. Okay, so now I'm on whatever committees that there are to get to be involved with setting up an emergency animal response team here in Washington, here in specifically Clallam County. So that's what I'm doing. It's keeping me busy. Right. And I think when you're involved in the community, you're less likely to be annoyed from day-to-day stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's a distraction.
Yeah.
It's a
It's
distraction.
good to get out and meet other people.
It's a distraction.
Mhm.
Puts my mind on something else. I mean, ask Angie the panicked phone call I had like an hour and a half ago.
Oh.
What the hell happened to my theme on my website? It's
I'm
not.
like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm buying stuff for my trip. I have no idea. I'm like, I didn't touch it. I swear to God, I didn't do it.
So I managed to get. And this is where money well spent. The whole you get what you pay for. Okay. So Positive Ed and Positive Educational Training is sitting on a really expensive platform. Okay. And let me tell you something. It's worth every penny. All right. Because after my meltdown, I'm like, you know what? I'll just contact Kinstux. I can't figure this out myself. And within 20 minutes, we had to figure out what the problem was, and it's all fixed. And so don't anyone actually look on the emergency and disaster sales page because it's but I'm done for the day.
Fair. Yeah.
And I will deal with it tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, my idea of community outreach basically is I go to almost every single local pop-up because then I get to talk to people about their dogs. And somehow I believe in my heart that animals do bring us together no matter where we are everywhere else. Animals bring us together, and you can talk about the history of dogs and what your dogs are like, what my dogs are like, how to take care of them. Like it's an easy sell for me because that's what I'm most comfortable with. But I think that if you concentrate on talking about the things that we all have in common, then the things we don't have in common become less important. Unless it's something really horrifying, but most of the time you can find something to connect with. If you talk about, your plants, your gardening, I quilt also. So I have a very strong quilt class of the people that I like, the guild. I have a very that we talk about quilting. We don't talk about anything else but quilting and what fabric we're going to get and our new sewing machine and what needles are best. That's really nice. It's really nice. It's wholesome and nice. And, nobody's arguing about, well, you're using the wrong needle or you didn't press that square. Who cares?
It doesn't matter.
We're all just creating something out of bits of fabric. And I think that's really nice. And everybody needs something like that, something that takes you out and connects you to other people in your community. You should go around and know your neighbors. So many people in our village, our local village, don't know each other. Take a walk, meet your neighbors, take them some zucchini bread or some mushrooms, do something like that. Just know who is around you and just give them a hello. We got to walk through this portion of our life with grace and give each other some grace. And I think that will cool everything down. Everything gets heated in every aspect of our life. You get frustrated with your work. Sometimes you overwork and overpromise all the time without fail. And then you're running around like a chicken with its head cut off. And it's time to just step back a little bit and be like, you know what? I think I'm going to make a mug rug. or a seat cushion or something like that. Everybody should have something like that. They just step away when we're doom scrolling and it's just, oh my god, oh that's terrible, oh for heck's sake, blah blah blah, this that and the other, and then somebody goes, oh cleanser, and then they have puppies and kittens. You need that in your real life as well. You need something to take you out of that loop because it is just a loop. There's so much more life, so much more world. outside of us than these things that everybody seems to be focusing on, whatever they may be.
My friend doesn't have Facebook. She hasn't been on Facebook for, oh my God, years. And I always forget that she's not on it. And then sometimes I get so jealous. I'm like, I wonder what that's like what that's like. She doesn't have that distraction and seeing all the different opinions and anger and the good thing. But she also doesn't see like a lot of the things that people, staying caught up on. So you do have to get out there.
Mhm.
But yeah, I always thought that was really interesting. I'm like, I wonder what that's like.
I do long for those days. I'm telling you.
Right?
But when you run your business, and
You can't.
Facebook is one of the platforms, like you got to keep track of it because people are asking you questions.
Yeah.
So there's that. But you got to have to put that phone down, or get out from in front of your computer and just say, you know what, today I'm going to put my hands in the dirt. Go out and touch the earth. Go out and smell the flowers. Go out and look at the sky. You need a break.
Mine is, I joined CrossFit. I like finding community in exercise because I don't want to do it by myself. But it's really cool because CrossFit is very, very camaraderie, hitting the goals, very supportive. It doesn't matter what your skill level is. Everyone is just in there for the same thing to make it through the workout and do the best that you can. So like I have found that community has helped me out tremendously. Mm-hmm. And then I like to do, I just joined a fox rescue. We have a fox sanctuary in our area, and she has 29 foxes. They're all captive bred, or they've been saved from fur. Ohio's horrible. So we have like the worst wildlife laws. Like we have the biggest exotic auction right down the road, and you can buy bears and lions, and you can have whatever you want. They just closed. They just seized over 225 foxes and bears and skunks and stuff like that. You can have whatever in Ohio. So anyways, they'll go to the auction and get the ones that, that they can from fur trade and stuff. But anyways, it's really neat that the person who runs the sanctuary is a wonderful human being, and like all the volunteers are great. So I'm starting to find, I get to stay with the animals and build bonds because I get to go in there with them and stuff and build bonds with the foxes and play around with it. So community is hard for me. I think community is hard for a lot of people to get out there. So I just started finding little things that helped me.
Well, that's community. Basically getting out of your house. And yes, your community can be foxes instead of people. Okay?
Right?
My husband has never been on Facebook. He has a Facebook page that I set up for him, and it's more, and then I converted it to Spirit's personal profile, but it's really my second, what do you call it? If I have to access a web page that I exit, I can fail safe. Yeah, it's a fail safe. All right. every once in a while, one of Ernesto's old friends from high school will go, "Hey, Ernesto," and I'm like, "No, he's not on Facebook. He has no desire to be here. He's like, whatever. He's happy in his seclusion." But all of those things that I'm doing, my husband is doing with me. So he's getting, out within the community too, as well. All right, Angie, we know you're new to Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
It's all cold and snowy.
Well, it is cold. But the first thing that I did when I got down here was join the local range. So, yeah. So
you got to find some foxes.
Yeah.
So now I need to find the fox sanctuary. But yeah, that's, that's as far as I've gotten, because I have been literally overwhelmed with trying to make a house out of what was 1 million boxes, and and all of that. So that's That's as far as I've gotten, because I still have 2 rooms to go to unpack. Because I have 2 rooms that are still, well, one of them is about 50% boxes instead of 100% boxes, and the other one is about 90% boxes.
Okay. It
So
was probably a year here before I noticed that this area didn't have an animal response team. There's a lot that goes into, both of us, we moved across the country.
Yeah.
So not even in an area where I moved in blind. So when I moved in here, I didn't know anybody.
same.
So there we go. So we're gonna have to start finding Angie something to do.
Oh no, I have plenty to do.
I was gonna say, I think she was
No, make no mistake. The docket
I don't know, Angie.
full, so full. And right now I'm filling it with things that make me money.
That is so
There
fair.
you go.
Oh, I feel that
Right?
so hard. I'm really trying to whittle
So-
down and focus. Focus.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm filling it with things that are profitable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Big fan, big fan.
things that are not making me money. So somewhere in the shed, I have all of my crochet supplies. Okay. And I want to start, I don't know, maybe making stupid little things for fun. Okay.
I'll take a stupid little thing. I love little crochet things. I have like a little crochet octopus in my car. It makes me happy. He's just sitting on my dashboard.
Well, that's what I want to do. But the thing is, it's up in the shed. Now it's cold. So we have to pull the lawnmower out from there. And then I have to get the ladder to get up there and then find the box that it's in. Hopefully, mice did not get into my yarn.
Right.
But then that would just be an excuse to go buy more yarn.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, Ange, I just got the topper material for yours. It's so pretty. You're going to love it.
For who?
For Angie.
Ooh.
For what?
I'm making her a quilt, and I just got the topper material in today. It just came. I ordered it before Christmas, and it just came today.
What?
One moment, I could go get it and show you.
Oh, okay, go get it because we still have some time.
Yeah.
There was, well, not in Connecticut, in New York. Again, one of the things that I wanted to get involved with, but the whole moving across the country, is we had a wolf sanctuary that was probably half hour from my house. It was in New York.
Okay.
And that is something that kind of has my attention. There's one in Washington, but I think it's in and around the Seattle area,
Okay.
which is,
That's not close.
it's not close. It's based, ooh,
Oh, hold on. Oh, wait. There's 6 different designs, and this is digitally printed. So there's fairies. It's called Celtic Garden, and so it's got. Do you see her face in there? In the trees,
That's
Yes.
so pretty.
and then I guess she's upside down. And then there's this one, and that one has like hidden little tree faces. This one, it's just grapes and like little bunnies. One is like a little bunny. This is a deer, but they're all incorporated into the trees.
we can only hope that Michelle likes us as much as she likes Angie.
Oh, wait a minute. I wanted to find the bunny one so you could see them, but you can't really see them. They're just in the trees, and I thought you'd really get a kick out of that. So
That's beautiful.
that's what I got.
Thank you.
So all these panels have to be cut, and then after you cut the panels out, then you cut them and then sew them back together in the design.
Oh, did you make her cry?
Aw.
That's really pretty. Thank you.
She deserves it. I love her so much. She has been so supportive to me. And she is like my number one cheerleader. Every time that I have something new or I'm afraid or whatever, I call her and she's like, "Yes, you can do this. Do it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited." And she goes, "I'm like, I'm making you a quilt." And the one thing I've found about quilting, it's not just some hobby or whatever. And something occurred to me, and maybe this is clear to everyone else, but to me, with my brain, I was talking to my husband and I said, I found that in starting to quilt and doing all this stuff, a homemaker isn't just some woman who's slaving away in the house doing dishes. Everything you make and everything you decorate and keep clean and keep nice, you are imbuing the energy of your love into the things in your home, which then radiate that love to the people that live there. And making a quilt, it takes so much time to put a quilt together that every stitch is, this is for Angie, this is for, this is because of this is because of that. So when I make something like that, I literally bless it with prosperity and love and protection. And I think it's a really neat process. And I'm really loving it because I don't make regular quilts. I found I don't make the regular patterns. I do art quilts.
Remind me, I have somewhere, I'm not sure if I got it hanging up or it's put away, but back in the day, I've done some quilting too. So I have something I made. It was hanging up in my house in Connecticut. It may, I'm not sure where it is. It's here in my house somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have to get that out. Not that I'm going to start quilting. I'm going to get my crochet stuff out of my shed sooner or later.
I should ship all this yarn to you because you do that stuff.
Well, find my stuff. Okay.
I have a whole box of it, and I have yet to make an article of clothing that's wearable.
All right. I have boxes of that stuff too. But also community involvement. It's trade shows.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, Pasadena is in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just want to mention about Pasadena. So Denise and I will both be there. Okay. And I'll be either at the Pet Stylist Relief Fund booth, the California Association's, their booth, or MOGO, which is supposed to be next to the Pet Stylist Relief Fund. All right. If I'm not in class, we will have applications.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So even if you've not been affected by the wildfires out there, if you know somebody who has, grab an application for them. So Amy crochets. You know what? I can have an entire podcast on crocheting. I would bring out all the stuff that I've made. I've made tablecloths.
Oh, I've made a bunch of things, Mary.
Yeah.
You just can't use them.
I have some very, very usable stuff. I have made sweaters when my nieces and nephews were younger. They all got hand crocheted sweaters.
Yeah, Amy makes the sweaters and the things and like all sorts of different sort of, it's like, okay, that's like, you just decided you needed and you made it?
Blankets.
You did this with some yarn and it came out.
And
different.
the sweater with
I know, it's magic. It's magic.
and things and
Sarah made a glass of wine.
okay,
That is talent.
so I'm just like, okay.
The Barbie dolls. I used to make the Victorian dresses.
Oh, Mary froze.
Threads, the crochet
you.
threads.
There you
Okay.
go.
So I made for the Barbie dolls with the crochet thread, the Victorian dresses.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I've got doilies. If that does not say my age, I don't know what, but I have actual doilies. So if anybody wants hand crochet doilies,
Oh my gosh. Just let me get my loom out.
yeah.
That's a lot. I've tried it.
Yeah,
I can make something
I have a-
resembling a mitten. I made a hat that it's like a big fat Albert hat that goes over your face, but there's no holes. I have successfully made little ear bands that go around your head and keep your ears warm. I made those. That's about it. Everything else is just kind of like a wonky, not a square thing.
I can't say
I
much.
I get lost in
don't-
the stitches. I can't count the stitches. I've tried to knit, and although I enjoy it, again, unusable.
Well, knitting it is really hard to like mess up your stitch count.
Oh no, easy. It's so easy.
Oh no, it is fairly.
I even have all the little markers that you put after you count your row, and then you put a marker there and count your row, put your marker there. And then the marker ends up being over, and then it's not right, and then it's not 16 anymore, it's 18. I'm like, what is happening here? I can count. I've got a little counter that you keep on your finger to count the stitches as you make them. It's not, I don't like it.
I like simple crafts like
Yeah.
wood burning and making sun catchers and things like that.
I'm good at wood burning. I did wood burn a huge tree of life on our headboard. So yeah, that's always cool. That's fun to do.
That's my kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I've always said that maybe Angie should have a channel on Positive Ed where it's this type of stuff.
Oh, that would be so cool.
You
Just have
know,
people come in and do a thing
Yeah.
on their craft that they love. That would just be something. That is a palate cleanser. Yes.
you know, maybe I would love, because I know there's somebody on here in the chat right now who knows how to can.
Amy knows how to can.
And me, I can a bunch.
Or,
So-
you know, would
She cans like all the things.
Like,
Like
don't make me carry the camera
all
to
the
my pantry. Don't do it. Don't do it.
like jellies and jams and
Mhm.
meat and vegetables and like eggs, like you name it.
seriously,
This woman knows how to put it in a can and make it live for like forever.
I knew I loved Amy.
It's like a mad skill. I'm just like,
I'm just going to throw this at Angie. How awesome would it be to have a membership for this sort of stuff?
yeah,
That would be crazy. Yeah. Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah. Throwing it out there.
Like a craft sort of
Yeah, whatever. Name,
skills
come
kind of
up,
thing.
come up with a name, but you know, something that would help in your life. Okay, or something you want to learn how to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I make wreaths and things like that, but I
Okay, but
crochet.
all of that, you could build up a nice little library of things on how to do something. So if I wanted to, I don't know, make some potpourri, then I would go in my membership and say, oh, who's teaching a class on that? Let me grab that recording.
Yeah.
So anyway, you
Well,
heard it here
yeah.
first. Yeah.
Yeah, weird animal facts. They
Weird
are
animal
not perverted. I'm sorry.
Well, actually, before you go into that, Chris is not here. Her community involvement is that she goes to choir with her mother.
She also does the speaking thing, Toastmasters.
Toastmasters.
Mm.
Okay.
Chris is very social. That comes very easily to her, though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A lot of us are not that social, but I think that there
It's
are
harder.
little niches for the people who aren't that social. That we're introverts, but we find a way, because I know it is valuable. But yeah, she's very gregarious.
Okay. So one animal fact before we wrap it up.
Okay, here we go.
Angie's Weekly Weird Fact.
Okay, so male gorillas can grow to 6 feet in height. Their legs are as long as a human's, but their arms are actually a foot longer. And although its head, wait a minute, go back. Although its head is larger, a gorilla's head is larger than a human being, their brain is smaller than a human being's. And in the wild, gorillas have been observed using sticks. So there's tool usage here. They use sticks to gauge the water depth for balance.
Angie's Weekly Weird Fact.
So what they'll do is they'll take the stick out and they'll check the depth and go, oh, okay, yeah, I can walk through that. And then as they're crossing the swamp, they'll keep the stick so they don't fall over with the current. Check this. All right, so every day they make 2 beds. They make the bed their nap bed. So they'll gather all the leaves and things to make a nice napping bed. And then after they're done with their nap, so they take a midday nap. After they're done doing that, then they push it all away back to nothing. And later that night, they'll build a different bed to sleep in that night in a different spot. So it's like, okay, this is the nap spot, but this is the sleeping spot is over here for whatever reason.
Well, you're going to spend more time in the night spot.
Yeah.
So it has to be fluffier.
Apparently. It's got to
The
be
nap
fluffy,
spot is just
it's gotta be-
impromptu because you need a little cushion.
Okay, I just want to point out that they have a smaller brain, yet are smart enough to take a midday nap.
True.
Yeah, we're the dumb ones, right?
Yeah,
Let's just stay up forever and do everything.
I have friends that nap. And for the first time this past weekend, I took a nap.
I'm so proud of you.
Wow.
Nap.
Yeah, yeah. Was it
Look
was
at
it delightful?
you.
Please tell us what it was like.
It was really refreshing. It was
Yeah.
I slept for like almost 2 hours. I just crashed. I was just like out cold. And it was really nice.
okay.
It was like
So,
2 to 4 in the afternoon. I just passed out cold.
You're like, you know what? I think I'm going to lay down right now.
Well, it wasn't actually intentional.
Oh,
I didn't mean to nap. I was doing something and it was just that kind of like, oh,
that's narcolepsy.
I fell asleep for 2 hours.
I like that. That sounds
It was
delightful.
lovely. It was
Yeah.
absolutely lovely. It was warm. It was happy. It was just, nap. Yeah, it was nice. I think I might be converted into the nap life.
Oh man, let us know how it goes. If you have any tips.
Yeah, I guess it just be relaxed, and it just kind of goes, oh, by the way, and you just go, oh,
Mhm.
and then you nap.
I'm gonna need more details.
Yeah, I forgot some. I don't know what to tell you. It was like, doing stuff. Okay.
Oh, you have to probably sit down. Sitting down is probably
Sitting down
Yeah.
is the key. Sitting down is
Yeah.
the key. And then you just kind of pass out.
That's fair.
okay. So on that note, what's next week? I mean, somebody will be here. Let's put it that way.
I will not be here. I will be traveling home.
Are you going on a vacation, Angie?
No,
Napping and a vacation.
no, it's not a vacation.
What's Angie turning into?
No, I'm going up to the groomers ball, and
Oh,
so
right.
Monday I'll be coming home. It's like a 2-day deal. So
Okay. Well, I will at least be here.
I'll be here.
I'll
Okay.
be here.
All right. So we'll see everybody next week.